Hello, Form 3 students. Today I'm going to talk about the output device of a computer system. And we should always remember there are four basic components in the computer system. We have the input device, processing device, output device, and storage device. And the role of the output device is to display the information stored in the computer to the user. So therefore the data or the information, they are actually stored in the computer, and through the output device they are displayed to the user. And there are mainly three types of output device: the monitor, printers, and speakers. And for the monitor, the information and data are displayed through the computer screen. For the printers, they produce hard copies or printouts to the user. And for speakers, they are responsible for producing sounds or audio to the user. And let's see the monitor first. We call this in Chinese 監視器 or the display. And they are responsible for displaying visual information to the user, including text, graphics, animation, and video. And the information displayed through the monitors, they are called soft copy. We call this soft copy. And basically, there are some aspects which we should know about a monitor. For example, the screen size. They are actually measured diagonally. For example, if we buy a 17-inch monitor, that 17-inch is the length of the diagonal of this rectangle. Is the diagonal size of a computer screen. And usually there is a very common misconception about the screen size that 17-inch is measured horizontally, which is quite wrong. And if we magnify the display of a computer screen, we can actually see that there are tiny dots. There are tiny dots which compose the computer screen, which we call pixels. 像素. For example, if we enlarge this picture, we can see that these small squares, they are called pixels. They are the basic components of a computer monitor. And therefore the display resolution of a monitor, they are all measured in pixels. And we call the total number of pixels which can be displayed in the computer screen is the display resolution, 解像度. And for example, if the resolution is 1024 by 768 pixels, that means horizontally they are 1024 pixels, and vertically they are 768 pixels in the computer screen. And therefore we can now have a very small conclusion. The higher the image resolution, the higher quality the image will be. For example, this image has a very low resolution because it has a small number of pixels. And by increasing the number of pixels, we can see that we have a higher resolution image on the right hand side because it has more pixels in the image. And next we come to the aspect ratio. We call this aspect ratio of a monitor. It is actually the ratio of the screen width to height, the ratio of the width to height. That is this formula. For example, 4:3, 16:9, 16:10. And in the past, almost all computer screens are in the aspect ratio of 4:3. That is, it has a more square-like monitor. But in recent years, nearly all computer screens are designed and manufactured with a widescreen display. And they all have a different aspect ratio with 16:9 and 16:10. And this change is mainly because computer users are using the computer screen to watch movies on YouTube, and the widescreen is much better. And now we can compare these two different types of monitor. We call this CRT monitor, the bigger one, the bulky one, and the LCD monitor, which we now commonly use in daily life. And we can compare these two types of monitors by using the size, the power consumption, and the amount of radiation emitted. Certainly, CRT mon is much more bulky, and LCD mon is lighter and thinner. Therefore, it can save more desktop space with an LCD monitor. And for power consumption, CRT mon consumes more power, and LCD mon is much more energy saving. And for radiation, CRT mon will emit some radiation, and for LCD mon there is actually little or no radiation. Okay, we come to another type of output device called the printers. And printers, they are also very important output device because they can produce paper form output. And with a computer screen, only a soft copy can be produced. But with a printer, a hard copy, or we call printouts, can be much more convenient or handy to the computer users because they may want to mark something on the printout. In hard copy, they are more or relatively more permanent because for soft copy, if you turn off the computer, it cannot be displayed again through the monitor. Okay, this is the word relatively permanent. Relatively permanent. And in the real world, there are actually many different types of printers. And these are the main four types: dot matrix, inkjet, laser, and thermal printer. And sometimes we call this the receipt printer. They are usually used in supermarkets. Okay, the first type, dot matrix printer. Actually, these are the very old-fashioned printers. And in my days, actually, when I studied university many years ago, dot matrix printer is actually the only one type of printers that we can buy from the market. It has a high printing speed, but they are very noisy. They can also produce carbon copies, which is used in printing credit card payment receipts. And the idea of a dot matrix printer is like this. It has a printing head and a ribbon. And the text or the letter, they are formed by a matrix of dots. So we call this dot matrix. And you can see when we enlarge a character or a text, we can actually see the dots here. This letter E is actually formed by a matrix of dots. Of course, the quality of this letter E will not be very high. And therefore, dot matrix printer, they are usually used as a receipt printer in supermarkets or retail stores because they can be used to produce carbon copies. In Chinese, carbon copies are called 個底紙. Therefore, a pile of 3 different receipts can be produced. Okay, the next type of printer will be the inkjet printer, which is commonly used even nowadays. They are the most common printer type, and they are quiet during printing or operation, but the printing speed is very slow. They can be used to produce high-resolution images or graphics, but the ink cartridges are very expensive. That is, the running cost of an inkjet printer is very high. So therefore, even though the printer is rather cheap, an inkjet printer is not expensive, but the ink are very expensive. So therefore, nowadays, quite a number of people will not buy printers at home. Okay, large format printer, and actually they function like a very large or big inkjet printer. Very big inkjet printer, and they can be used to print banners, posters, or large size maps. And of course, they will be very expensive to buy, and the price of the printing cost of a banner is usually very high. Okay, the third type, laser printer, 雷射打印機. And the laser printer can produce very high resolution text and graphics. They are also quiet in operation and has a very high printing speed. So now they are commonly used in office, schools, etc. Actually, all the printers in the computer rooms, MMLC, they are all laser printers. And they have to make use of toner cartridges. These are the toner cartridges. They have colors because we have color laser printers in the computer room. And toner in Chinese is 碳粉. Okay, the last type of printer, thermal printer, which make use of special thermal paper. These are the thermal paper. And this paper has a very special surface which is sensitive to heat. If you heat some part of the paper, that part will become black in color. For example, this receipt is printed by the cafe or printed by supermarkets. Usually, these receipts are only black and white in color. And in fact, they don't need to be colorful, because the main purpose is to show only clearly the total cost of the receipt. And therefore, in conclusion, we can compare the 4 types of printers through the speed, the noise, the printing quality, and the running cost. And you can study all these properties by yourself. And the last type of output device will be the speakers, and they are responsible for converting electronic signals to sounds or audio. They are also very important output device nowadays because people will usually like to play computer games or watch YouTube videos, and they are very important in a multimedia computer system. So for more expensive speakers, just like this one, home theater speakers, they have a large set of speakers.